Stephen, we now to know that you've opened the parks, 2 days access road at no cost. What do you mean here? 2 days a year, 2 days a month, 2 days a week, and why two?
We are talking about Thursday 17th and Friday 18th, October 2024. We think these are good days because people have come out of independence celebrations, and also we have also come from World Tourism Day, so people have been told about tourism in Uganda, and we're giving them an opportunity now to go and visit those areas in the protected areas so that they can experience what Uganda has to offer. This time round, we are offering these 2 days, but it does not stop us from offering even more days or different days in another month over the upcoming years. But these are coming in right on the heels of a number of tourism activities, and we're happy to welcome and receive people into the parks now.
Stephen, can you please clarify on the press release in which you indicated that you have stopped charging buses going through the park?
Maxon Falls is one of the biggest parks in which we have a number of entry routes. One of the routes that comes from Pakwach is through Tangi, and another one comes from Kichumba Nyobo. This road is a tourism road through the park. Because of the challenges of the repairs in Karuma, we have sat and considered with the other ministries of works and other stakeholders that Uganda Wildlife Authority should provide some access to people coming to Kampala. So in which case we know that some of the biggest hit people would be the people traveling by public means who may not have as much money or who are looking for easy access through to Kampala. So the buses, yes, will be allowed free to come either way from going up or coming down of Pakwach. But other vehicles of private owners, we are requesting them to pay some money because we have to continue conserving and protecting these national parks for the greater good of the Ugandans.
Now, Stephen, again, how will Uganda Wildlife Authority manage the potential increase in visitors, ensuring the park's capacity and natural resources don't end up compromised?
At the moment, our parks have not reached carrying capacity yet. You have traveled into the parks and you have seen, at least in most of the times, not that all the roads are full of traffic in the parks. No. Uganda has a population of over 46 million, and the parks are only taking about over 400,000 in a whole year. That means we do have capacity to even go to 1 million in the protected areas without having a challenge of traffic. But also, not everybody is coming at the same time. There are people who work and can come to the national parks on weekends. There are children who can, as part of their programs, go during Mondays, Tuesday, and so on. So we do have a lot of capacity. The staff are there trained and ready to receive all walks of life. And this time round, we're also putting buses. The 5 buses that Uganda Wildlife Authority have will be stationed at different main roads. For example, in Lake Muro at Sanga, there will be a bus waiting to take in people. In Queen Elizabeth, there will be one at Katungulu and at Kasenyi. Those are buses that will pick people in groups, especially from communities, take them for a game drive, enjoy the park, and come out. So we do have plans to manage the traffic. But also want to call on Ugandans that when you come to a park, it's a protected area with special sense of protection and management. So we do not want people to come with their plastics and throw them. We don't want them to come with loud radios and make noise for wildlife. We don't want people to come and hoot. We want them to enjoy the park quietly, because when you make noise and cause all that havoc, you may disturb the peace of other people. So we want them to abide by park rules, and we shall continually make people aware of what these regulations are.
Sadly, Stephen, I will assure you that Ugandans are going to litter the parks. I think what is best is Uganda Wildlife prepares to clean up the mess, because Ugandans never listen. Sadly, it is what it is. Minister, paint us a picture of what kind of revenue losses are going to happen in terms of also the conservation. I indicated Ugandans are going to litter, Honorable Minister, you know that. What are we likely to lose here? I mean, animals being knocked by reckless driving and all.
Yes, of course, I was just looking at the figures. We have around 5 kills since we improved that road to bitumen. Of course, we expect this number to increase because we won't be able, as much as we set a limit of movement of vehicles at 40 kilometers per hour. But of course, it's very difficult to regulate. So there is always that abuse. So definitely the road kills will increase. But also, Maction Falls is the best performing park that we have in this country. Last year, we made around almost 20 billion Uganda shillings. And interestingly, of that money, if you look at the Uganda Wildlife Act, 20% goes to the communities. So last year alone, we were able to give the districts neighboring the parks, specifically the parishes, around 3 billion. So once we open up the park and stop, because it will be difficult for us to differentiate between a tourist and a person just transiting through the park. So the moment we lose those revenues, definitely all that will be affected, including the 2% that we collect for compensation, because out of those park entry fees is what we get of some small money that will compensate people that have been affected, or people's crops have been affected by wildlife. So all this will be disturbed. But I think in conclusion, my prayer is to our colleagues, we are going back to Cabinet, we'll have this discussion, but let's look at conservation beyond ourselves. We've found this park as is because of the measures that were put in place before us. And this has taken an effort, like I told you, since 1926. And we can undo this in a period of even 1 year, because the more noise we create along that path, the more we tend to scare the animals further from the unusual noise that they've not been used to. And it would be difficult for you to retract or to have them, because you can't persuade them, to have them come back closer. And the moment you push them further, definitely they are going into the communities. That's more havoc, more destruction of crops, and more issues for us. So I beg of my brothers, we understand the inconvenience. Whenever there have been issues at Karuma, we've always opened up the park, but it's been for a shorter period, 3-4 days. Now this is unprecedented. We understand the inconvenience, but like we've said, we've still offered an alternative route. It's only an additional 28-30 kilometers. Please understand and use that. But we'll see how to resolve going forward.